Don't question what I'm reading. Hello devotees, didn't see you there. So I spent the past 7 days attempting to master Citlali, the newest cryo colorless character in Genshin Impact. Citlali on paper is a cryo shield character with offensive support capabilities for pyro and hydro characters. On top of that, her element also allows crazy damage with melt. And her Natron affiliation also makes her a top tier support for none other than Mavrika herself. Citlali can also jump very high, similar to Oraron. She also has a unique gliding animation, making her a very fun addition to have while exploring into that. And even with a support build, she can also deal a very high amount of personal damage, which I didn't expect going into this journey of building Citlali. In this challenge, I also set a few goals for Citlali that I would like to try and see if I will be able to attempt. The first one is to build Citlali as both a support and a DPS. Since Citlali's kit is mainly a support, I want to see what her potential would be as a DPS. My next goal is to deal at least 500,000 damage as Citlali. Since she is a cryo character, this number should be achievable, so fingers crossed that we can hit that threshold. My final goal is to learn something new about Citlali. I'm going to be playing Citlali without any prior knowledge, so I should be able to learn a thing or two to share in this video. At face value, Citlali seems like a generic shield character, but after trying her out for the past week, she's definitely got more depth in her, and I can't wait to share them all in this video. So here's how I mastered Citlali in 7 days. So to begin the very first day, I tried out Citlali and gave my first impressions of her. Her normal attack animations are pretty unique looking. Definitely very different like all colorless characters. Oh, so you can hold her charge attack and she basically aims in. Interesting. The range isn't as long though. Counter skill, of course, creates a shield and also the little shark looking goggly eye pet that we have. It is called It's Papa as well. Not sure if that's a correct pronunciation. And also, of course, she does other characters like the members of the Night Wind, which is Oraron right now. She does a pretty high jump and can float for a decent amount of time, actually. Interesting. Definitely another character that you can explore pretty easily through the air. Not as fast as Chaska, but still. I also did some combat tests with her to see how she plays. Alright, let's test her out in combat and just see how she is. Oh, there's a victim slime in front of us. Still level 1 though, so damage-wise, I don't think I'll be doing much. During my initial trial with Citlali, I discovered something. And something unique about her is that her shield is also... Oh, okay. I think its Papa got angry. Like, its color changed a little bit. Let me just take a look at it again. Okay. The shield also lasts for a long time. Like, I have like 100% uptime, I believe. Okay. It's not angry anymore. How do I know when it's angry? Not sure how to trigger that, actually. Okay. I gotta play around with her kit a little bit more. At this time, I didn't know about It's Papa's Opal File state, in which we are required to have 59 soul points with Citlali in order to trigger it. So I went around looking for enemies to try it out again. Okay, I believe It's Papa will go into a different state if I have 9 soul points. So I don't have 59 soul points, so I don't really think I'll get it yet. Okay, now I have it. But yeah, Citlali gains 9 soul points every time she uses an elemental burst or skill, so it's pretty essential to burst every rotation. Anyways, I continued running around Natlan and just practiced with Citlali's playstyle. I assembled a pretty random freeze team with Kazuha, and it was pretty satisfying seeing all the numbers with all the reactions. After that, I decided to challenge my first boss with Citlali. At level 1, her shield wasn't all that strong, so the boss was able to destroy it in a few hits. But thankfully, I was still able to defeat the boss in the end. With that being said, I decided to level up and ascend Citlali to level 40, and I also got her weapon up to 20 as well. I decided to use Arlecchino to test out Citlali's melt potential. Arlecchino actually works really well with Citlali because of her ability to melt. On top of that, Citlali's shield also complements Arlecchino because of her inability to heal, which will definitely help her with her survivability. Didn't even break a sweat. I also tried out a few domain runs with the same team. Paired up with Rosaria, melting with Arlecchino was actually pretty nice and easy, especially when we had Citlali to help out with the melt application. And here I made a discovery. Damage-wise, Citlali's personal damage is actually pretty good. Like her burst kinda nukes enemies. I personally don't use Arlecchino as much, but with Citlali's release, I'm now definitely considering putting her in my team from now on. I started off the second day by first ascending Citlali again and raising her weapon to level 40. I also raised all of her talents to 2. I traveled to Natlan in the sky to look for my next prey with a Chaska team and came face to face with a Wayob enemy. This Chaska team is actually very strong because it includes characters with all different elements. And on top of that, Citlali's shields help protect Chaska against the enemy's attacks. Damage with Chaska is pretty good. This Citlali definitely helps out a lot, especially with her shield. Overall, Citlali's playstyle definitely shines when paired up with Chaska, and I personally enjoyed using this team. Next, I decided to try a miHoYo team. I feel like this might be a little bit overkill, even though we're only on day 2, but I just want to try out Citlali with miHoYo in her supposed best team. Oh, I got kind of distracted with some ores. But yeah, I guess we can test her out in this kind of team. Right now I have my burst though. I kind of want to make it so my Night Soul is depleted. And I want to see if I can actually just get her burst back out. So I'll just burst. I'm already getting the fighting spirit back. So Citlali and miHoYo are made for each other. In case you don't know, miHoYo gains fighting spirit, which recharges her elemental burst based on Night Souls depleted. So with Citlali being able to deplete Night Soul points, provide melt reactions, and shred pyro resistance all in her base kit, you don't need me to explain the rest. Anyways, I continued on to hunt some Voltyea. As I was doing my rotations, I realized a problem. It can't even do enough damage. Oh, nice. Casual 470k melt. Not bad. You see, the overworld enemies are too weak for miHoYo, so most of the enemies here couldn't really withstand my attacks all at once. To change that, I decided to fight a world boss. I feel like it's genuinely hard to find an overworld enemy or boss that's actually thick enough, HP-wise, to withstand this combo of a team. The new world boss was actually pretty thick, both literally and figuratively, so she could tank a few hits of my burst. The boss did manage to put up a fight with some resistance. I have no idea what this boss does though. Summons a bunch of cryo shadows. Oh, I guess we gotta take care of all of these. Alright. Make way for miHoYo. Oh. It's tired now. But in the end, miHoYo was able to take care of business. Since everything is easy with miHoYo, I decided to challenge our very first local legend of this video. I don't know why I always use this local legend to test out my damage in a way. Oh well. So we started out just by doing our standard rotations, and everything was going great until this happened. What? Oh, pretend you didn't see us. So I returned back to challenge the boss again, hoping things will turn out better this time. Oh, I almost got melted. Did a 600k melt, and the boss is nowhere to be seen. Oh great, it's back. As strong as this team is, the boss's mobility was definitely the most annoying part of this fight. So it made my damage testing a bit of a headache to do. On top of that, the boss hurts a lot. Boss still does a lot of damage to me though. I'm kinda scared. I can't even E. What? No! That was so embarrassing. Okay. I'm not gonna mess with this boss anymore until my Citlali is higher level. Yep, I was forced to retreat with my tail between my legs. Okay, that was pretty rough, so we're gonna definitely test it out against easier opponents. This time, I went to fight the farting boss. Alright, let's try the damage. Should be easy. Everything went well, and we were able to do this. That was only 900k. Our next sacrifice was a Primo Jewel Vicious. Oh, kind of messed up my rotation. And of course I didn't crit. Yeah. Of course. I ended the day by leveling up Citlali to 60, as well as her weapon to 60. And lastly, I upgraded all her talents to 4. So on day 3, I decided to try out a few uncommon teams with Citlali. Starting out with a Klee team, I went and challenged the Dendro Checking World Boss in Sumeru. But with only Citlali as the cryo character in the team, it was a bit difficult to melt my attacks. Even swirling cryo with Kazuha was a bit difficult, but we managed to defeat the boss. Next, I went to challenge the Electro Regisvine. This team actually works well against this boss since they could destroy the cores pretty easily. Afterwards, we could just finish the boss without much trouble. I also decided to try a jamming plunge team with Citlali, so I assembled my team and tried out the team in a domain. I actually don't play jamming that much, so I wasn't familiar with my rotations, but I managed to hit some decent damage either way, even without melting. I went to fight some bosses as well to test out against single target enemies. I was still having trouble melting the boss as I was applying pyro too quickly. Through some trial and error, I was finally able to melt, although I didn't crit. The boss also self-destructed, so it was a bit anticlimactic. Next, I went to challenge the Fontaine Ballerina bosses. I had to try this boss a few times because at first I wasn't able to melt, but afterwards everything just clicked. I managed to hit around 250k with melt, and my rotations were lining up with my reaction damage perfectly, so we were able to finish off the boss relatively quickly. Finally, I ascended Citlali to 70 and leveled her weapon up to match her level. I also raised her talent to level 6 before ending my day here. So on day 4, I used Mualani to pair up with Citlali. This team comp is pretty interesting because I'm mainly using Citlali for her Hydro Shred, on top of her ability to protect my team with her shield. Damage-wise, Mualani of course does her own thing, and she can hit 300k vaporized damage easily. I feel like my shield getting a little bit stronger, so that's good. Okay, it's standing on water, so I can't really properly vape. Oh. Even without any reactions, Mualani was still able to hit 6-digit damage. Kind of stealing my own reactions, but I guess that's fine. In exchange for safety, I guess. Next, I went to challenge the Giant Crab. This boss starts with a Pyro Shield, so with my Hydro team, we could break it rather easily. However, there was just one problem. Still doing a lot of damage to the crab, even though it has some resistance. All things considered, we managed to defeat the boss before we destroyed its shield, so I guess that was a win. With the Dorito boss, I actually had a pretty smooth fight because I was able to vaporize with Mualani while Citlali also shredding its Hydro Res. There's just something about Mualani's gameplay that just feels so satisfying, so I couldn't get enough of it. Next, I went to challenge the Fatui Agent Local Legend. I don't usually fight this boss unless I have a Hydro character, but with Mualani's team, I decided it was time to try it out. The boss fight was a bit of a hassle since the boss is only vulnerable for a few seconds, and we ran into some trouble. This fight is always pretty scary. Okay, should be able to disable the boss now. Come on. Okay. Boss got revealed. We should be able to do pretty good damage. Alright, I didn't crit. No worries, just crit this time. Okay. This time for sure. Okay. Of course, the only time I crit was when invulnerability is gone. Kinda sucks, but it is what it is. And thankfully we're in Natlan, because I would have probably been screwed at this point. With some luck, however, things looked better the second time around. There we go. Getting some nice crits now. Thanks to Citlali's protection with her shield and some luck, we were able to finish the boss off. That was a pain. I went back to farm some domains. I stuck with the same team since I wanted to see how fast we could clear. And let's just say, it was pretty quick. I decided to swap a Nuvolet team to see how he works with Citlali. With the Hydro Shred, Citlali in my opinion can definitely replace Kazuha, especially if Nuvolet is at C0. Since Citlali's shield will also prevent Nuvolet from cancelling his charge attacks due to getting hit by the boss. Citlali's shield is pretty nice for C0 newbie, for sure. Damage-wise, I'm actually doing pretty high. With a free-to-play build for Nuvolet, I decided to do some artifact farming. I'm kind of interested to see how much damage the free-to-play Nuvolet will do in this kind of team. I don't have any constellations, so hopefully Citlali's shield can be strong enough. The freeze definitely helps out as well with like staggering. So yeah, doing like almost 50k, which is pretty nice. Burst-wise, I'm actually doing a lot as well. Wow, okay. I just deleted the enemies. I also went to challenge this robot thing with my nouvelle team comp. Okay. This boss does have resistance, but I just want to test out the damage against bosses in general. Should be able to do like maybe 30-40k still. Okay. Around the same. Yeah, 30k even with resistance on. I'm pretty happy with this team's damage. I guess I'll get up like this. What? Oh, I missed. Eh, that's fine. Best thing is I don't get staggered. Yeah. Oh. Like the shield is actually pretty nice, all things considered. I ended my day ascending Citlali to level 80, and also leveled up her weapon to 80. On day 5, I decided to use a Diluc team to team up with Citlali. This might honestly be a mistake, but at the same time, I'm kind of confident in myself, so let's see. My shield is bigger though. Maybe this will help out a little bit. I also decided to bring a Shenyun along so I could try a plunge in Diluc. Alright, Diluc isn't critting. So I managed to do some pretty nice DPS. Alright, the boss is running. Oh, never mind. It's coming back. Give me back my shields. This place is so awkward. I can't even switch. I'm too short. I keep missing my crits, but even without critting, I'm doing like 90,000 plunge attacks at least. Diluc's damage was pretty high with plunge, but the boss kept on moving, making her a pretty hard target to hit. But every time I want to burst, this boss always moves around. Oh, nice. I actually got a big hit on it. 240k. After a long cat and mouse game, we managed to finish off the boss with Citlali. Let's see. I just keep on missing my crits, but I guess my crit rate is a little bit too low. I didn't really build her as a DPS, but now I'm pretty excited though on what her potential could be if I build her as a DPS. Next, I went to challenge Azdaha to see how the same Diluc team would do against it. Since the boss is pretty old, this team can instantly deplete its HP. Oh, Azdaha basically said I can plunge too. I also tried to deal damage with Citlali as well. Come on, damage wise, oh. I kind of missed again. I did something cheeky with Citlali. I kind of want to test something now with Citlali actually. So yeah. What? Okay, I guess there's no vertical height disadvantage here, so noted. Well, at least Citlali has a shield, so we're fine. Needless to say, we finished off this boss easily. So after that, I decided to try Citlali as a plunge DPS. As you can see, this was kind of scuffed. So Citlali's plunge attacks are a bit slow, which made the plunge a bit inefficient. I also realized I picked the wrong boss to try this team comp with, since this boss had a bunch of cryo mimics. On the flip side, when the plunge attacks work, Citlali can actually deal a good amount of damage. I don't know, Citlali's plunge is a little bit slow, so maybe it's just not the best for plunge DPS. But I can see how people can make it work as well. Plus, she can also plunge herself, which is even longer. And I only did like 2,000 damage. It took a while, but we were able to finish the boss. I started out day 6 by max ascending Citlali. After maxing her weapon, I decided to try Citlali out as a full-fledged DPS character. Oh, time for another local legend boss fight. Kinda scared, but hopefully this won't be bad. First, I challenged Rocky to see how much damage I could do. Okay, like 200k. Not bad. To my surprise, I managed to do over 200k, so I was pretty satisfied. Since Citlali also shields our team, it was pretty easy to avoid damage. As you expect, this also had to happen. Please hit. Oh, I didn't crit though. With this team comp, I could also DPS with miHoYo as well, even if she was on a support build. Eventually, Citlali was also able to finish off the boss with a burst. Next, I went to fight Bronzelock, another Nathlon local legend. Since this boss also had a lot of HP, we could test our damage out without any worries. Unfortunately, we missed a few crits as well. Of course, when things matter, I just don't crit. Thankfully, this team was pretty tanky, thanks to Citlali's shield. So in the end, we took care of the boss without any casualties. After that, I decided to roam around Inazuma and found some specters to farm. With Citlali's burst, we did a good amount of damage. Her charge attacks were also hitting around 16k as well, which was nice. Besides DPSing, Citlali was also a pretty nice on-field cryo driver for a support miHoYo as well with her melts, which we were hitting pretty hard with. With that in mind, I decided to try out a completely different playstyle for Citlali. I made Citlali the main Hyper Fridge driver for this team. In case you don't know what that means, it's basically the character that freezes the enemy for a hyperbloom team comp. Even though I was testing against a boss I can't freeze, Citlali's shield came in useful for me to defend myself. As a cryo catalyst, her cryo application is top notch, so I can see a lot of creative team comps with Citlali in the future. I tested this team against freezable enemies, and let's just say, it's pretty convenient when the enemies can't fight back. Pretty nice. It's freezing enemies and they can't even move. Hyperbloom in general is also really good, so this team comp can make you beat any freezable enemies. All in all, this team was really effective at what it does, especially with a nice mix of defense and offense. With the final day upon us, I began the day by leveling up all my talents to level 9. After that, I made a decision to activate every one of Citlali's constellations to see how that will impact her playstyle and the potential damage she can output. Okay, so I am going to be activating every constellations for her and just see how she plays at C6. We do get a lot of upgrades, so I'm expecting a lot of damage, honestly. And also I'm excited to see how this will play out. I also swapped to a DPS build with the Obsidian artifacts and went to find a boss to fight. Okay. So we're going to be challenging the Primordial Bishop. And my miHoYo will just be supporting Citlali. Alright. Let's see if I can melt. 200k melts? But my skill is actually doing more damage now. I think I just randomly melted for around 30k. But the boss has 0 to no HP, so I can't really test my damage out yet, I guess. Next, I went to find a more difficult boss. Okay, so we are going to... Do you mind? As I was saying, we're going to be fighting a turtle. So the turtle local legend will pose a challenge for Citlali since it has more HP. But this is also good since we won't be able to one-shot the boss. This team is pretty insane though because miHoYo is also C6. So I'm just hoping that I won't do too much damage. We quickly took the boss down to half HP. So time was running out. Okay, there's a shield. So I got to destroy it first. After finally managing to burst, Citlali did this. Alright, melt. I didn't crit. Okay. I'm pretty sure my melt follow-ups are the one that's doing 100k. Thanks for the meat. Sadly, Citlali kept on missing crits. But this made me more determined to see her true potential. Lastly, I went to challenge our final boss. Alright, let's go to our favorite boss. We're gonna be fighting the Capybara. As for the team comp, I'm gonna use Xiangling instead of miHoYo so I can actually test out Citlali's pure cryo damage to make it a bit better. This boss was definitely as annoying as I remembered, especially without a Claymore character to stagger it. Alright. I'm just hoping that nothing crazy will happen against this boss. So, let's see. My skills are hitting pretty good damage. I'm not sure if I saw a 300k or was that a 30k. Cryo. Uh-oh. I still have no idea how to stagger this thing unless I have a Claymore character. But since I don't have it, then I guess it's time to retreat. What? It was hitting a wall. There's no way. It wasn't even aiming at me. Okay, my Citlali doesn't really crit as often as I want, which is kind of unfortunate here. Citlali missed her crit again, so that was a bit unfortunate. I also came up with a plan to evade the Capybara's tackle attacks. Alright, I don't have any stamina, so it's a little bit scary. But I can just do this. Citlali can just kind of hang out in the air while the Capybara is slowly coming towards me. Alright, surely this time it crits, okay. I'm praying. I don't know if I'm hitting it. Oh, okay, nice. 500k. So this is what happens when you actually crits. Yeah, after finally critting, Citlali was able to deal 500k melt, which was really cool. We managed to burst the boss one more time, shattering my previous damage record with Citlali. That should be fine. 700k, okay. I'm starting to get more and more damage, which is nice. After that, we were able to finish up the boss in the end. Alright, here it goes. Okay, did I even melt that time? Mainly Citlali over this past week has been an interesting experience. Citlali as a character shines the most as the support of the team. However, her role is also unique, with her being a cryo character, but only buffs hydro and pyro damage, making Citlali the perfect teammate for Malvika. Even at C0, Citlali, to my surprise, was able to dish out a good amount of damage. So this makes her capable of helping out the team with damage, which is also another plus. All in all, Citlali's flexibility definitely makes her a great character to have. And with the ability to buff 2 prominent elements, there are endless team comps to try her out with. And overall, I had a lot of fun playing Citlali over the last 7 days. As always, thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. And if you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like these. And I'll see you in the next one.